The power of the CASIO camera. So let's take a look at the features with the CASIO camera of squamous cell carcinoma. These are all the dermoscopy features associated with non-pigmented squamous cell carcinoma and keratoacanthomas. Here are some clinical examples. Here is the first. Clinically, this pink lesion. Dermoscopically, vessels as coils, diffuse vessels as coils. Here one sees the vascular enhancer, as well as in the near ultraviolet light, these vessels as coils. Another clinical picture of this pink papule. Dermoscopically, you have diffuse vessels as dots, as well as a few blood spots. In this case, a slightly different pattern. Instead of diffuse vessels as dots, we have focal vessels as dots. We see with the vascular enhancer and the near ultraviolet light these focal vessels as dots. This scale is obscuring the underlying vasculature. Now, this is a keratoacanthoma, a rapidly growing lesion. Dermoscopically, it has many features. It has scale, it has heme and keratin, and vessels as dots. We can also see these vessels as dots in the near ultraviolet light, and the central portion is essentially in black and white, a scale crust. A different pattern for this squamous cell carcinoma, we see circles with a white peripheral rim, which is characteristic of keratin pearls. We see both branched and serpentine vessels. We have heme and keratin. This is the pattern seen in the near ultraviolet light. Another squamous cell carcinoma characterized dermoscopically by vessels as dots, keratin, scale, and these thickened white lines. In this superficial squamous cell carcinoma, we can see these white ovoid structures and some serpentine vessels. The histologic image was taken with the CASIO camera. Small lesion, 4 mm papule, and it had a distinct pattern dermoscopically, characterized by these circles with a white peripheral rim and tan orange center. And these are characteristic of squamous cell carcinomas that extend into the dermis. You can see with the near ultraviolet light the same pattern. And histologically, you have the so-called keratin pearls. What about the dermoscopy features associated with pigmented squamous cell carcinoma? Here, these are the features. With the CASIO camera, we see these brown dots in a linear configuration. If we now incorporate the vascular enhancer, we see actually that these brown dots are now red dots. Because of the heavy pigment, it's obscuring the red dots, but the vascular enhancer allows us to see them. And in the near ultraviolet light, again, we can see now these red dots in a linear configuration. Here we have a pigmented squamous cell carcinoma. In the traditional mode, we see brown dots in a linear configuration, scale, and vessels as coils. With the vascular enhancer, we see now that these brown dots in a linear configuration are actually red coils. And the final case that I'd like to show you is another pigmented squamous cell carcinoma in situ. We see these brown dots in a linear configuration. Thank you.